Yeah, we get in the car, he says, "Do you know how to get there?"
Oh, man.
I thought that was your job.
But nonetheless, it's great to have you with us, doing a gig tonight at the Ritz. I suppose we should say, since this is going to run afterwards, so you put on a wonderful show at the Ritz.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Along with Saga.
We felt good about it.
It's a great crowd. But by all means, really a great new CD, in all honesty, Faith, Hope, and Love. Now, this time around, I'd like to know from your past effort, what you guys, when you went into the studio, this is really a question that I ask most of the bands, because, the fact being is that, you lay down your groundwork for your new record. Now, what do you think when you started saying, okay, this is what we want to do this time around different? What do you think that was from your previous efforts?
Well, actually, we didn't think of that. We always, when we do a record, we just get together and start pouring out our heart the way we feel at the moment.
Right.
And we never know what it's going to sound like or what's going to be the outcome till it's done. Then we sequence the songs together and sit and listen to it and go, okay, there it is. Then we realize what it is.
So it's more or less the same writing formula that you go by each and every time. Like you never thought, well, maybe you want to do, this different or something like that.
Well, there's always improvements because we're always trying to better ourselves. But basically, it's. What would you say, Jerry?
I'd say that it's just like what you said. I guess we are.
I was waiting for that. Because Jerry's not just saying, yeah, okay, I agree with that, yeah. Alrighty, so now let's say we'll do the single off. It's not the latest single, I'll Never Get Tired of You. It's a love song, no doubt about that. What's the inspiration for this stuff?
I just hope that people can cuddle up with each other and get real sentimental and pour out their feelings towards each other while listening to this song.
All right, what do you think, Jerry? Well put down?
I'd say that's pretty good, yeah. That, among other things, yeah.
Amongst other things, okay. Amongst other things that we can't mention on the radio, ladies and gentlemen. I'll Never Get Tired of You. King's X, your feature interview of the week on The Shop from 102.7 WNEW New York. This is 102.7 WNEW. You've been hearing it on The Shop. It's the latest from King's X, I'll Never Get Tired of You. Your feature interview of the week. We have Doug, we have Jerry, the band. And you're hitting the road now. For how long have you been on this file, hasn't it?
We've been out basically since the beginning of January.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be out pretty much for the rest of the year, a couple months off here, August, September.
Jerry's wife's going to have a baby.
My wife and I are going to have our third baby.
Yeah,
so we're taking some time off for it.
And you got one of them here right now, Jerry.
Yeah, it's Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy. Don't be shy. You want to say hi to the folks? There's only about 800,000 listeners. Okay. So you went on in January, and then are you going to continue doing this, Doug, with this, doing like the club or the theater gigs along with the band? Are you going to hook up maybe with a bigger tour or something?
Well, we're going to continue this for a while, but we're doing a thing called the Gathering of the Tribes with, I think it's 10 other bands every weekend, starting next month, I think.
The beginning of July?
Yeah, beginning of July. It'll be Fishbone and Primus and John Wesley Harding.
Wow. Steve Earle.
Who?
Steve Earle.
Yeah, Steve Earle and EFM.
Wow, this sounds great.
It's going to be fun. It's real. Oh, X is playing too. It's going to be wild.
X is back together now? Now, is this the original X?
I have no idea.
Wow, it's not. Have you noticed this? I mean, I've noticed this. I don't know, maybe it's the recession, or I think maybe the audiences are demanding more. Just the fact being that most of the bands seem to be like doubling, tripling, quadrupling up. If you notice, they have the Lollapalooza tour this summer, I guess, with Jane's Addiction and a number of bands. When it comes to the hard rock, heavy metal scene, you have Clash of the Titans and Operation Rock and Roll, and then now you're talking about the gig you're doing.
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed that there's just like it's almost like the bands are having a hard time selling by themselves, so that they're doing these groups?
It makes you wonder, because sometimes you go to those shows and it's not sold out for all those bands, and it kind of scares you. It's kind of going, what are we doing? Is rock and roll a dying thing?
Well, it's almost like it was back in the 50s, don't you think? When they put out, like a whole bunch of bands that go out and go on the road. It's kind of like more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Now more on the CD, Doug, why don't you pick your favorite and tell me why?
Oh, I don't have a favorite.
And why? I knew you was going to say that.
And I can tell you why. It's because, put it this way, when you have children, you love them all. They're all special.
Right.
And all the songs that we do are all special songs.
Okay.
I can pick a song if you can play it on the radio with, what is it?
Born
to Be Loved.
Born to Be Loved?
Yeah.
Okay, and the story behind this?
It's sort of an autobiography of myself.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we should take a real close listen to this, I take it, huh?
Not too close.
Okay, folks, turn it up and listen real closely. Born to be Loved, King's X. It's 102.7 WNEW-FM. You got the shot. This is 102.7 WNEW-FM in New York City. 2 hours of the best hard rock and heavy metal to be found anywhere. Your feature interview of the week, we have Doug with us, we have Jerry with us, we have King's X with us. It's your friend Ian here. Now, we just talked about the touring plans are going until really, God knows when. Really, it's kind of like until it's time you say, well, we got to start writing again.
Pretty much that, yeah.
You think so?
And going home and passing out for a couple months.
Some time to rest, some time to get ready to go back out on the road.
Do you find you guys get much time off when you're doing this, or is it just pretty well night after night after night?
Well, I'll tell you, this tour since January, I think we've been home probably maybe 17 days out of the whole tour.
Wow.
And it's what it is.
This has been a busy year for us. We've been playing quite a bit.
And what's your home base?
Houston, Texas.
Oh, a Texas boy.
Texas.
Really? And how about you? You're Texas as well? Now, didn't you live now? I thought I was reading in a bio somewhere that you were in a Christian band at one time. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or was it along those lines? Am I right?
Yes, sort of along those lines. A guy named Phil Kagi. Jerry and I both played with him about 10 years ago.
It was 1980.
80, yeah.
That's where Doug and I met.
Yeah.
This has really been a long time coming for you guys when you think about it, huh? I mean, has it really been a long road? How do you think?
It's been long for me.
Yeah, well, we've been together for about 10 and a half years. We've been through a lot together, and it's been a long haul.
We've become best friends and brothers.
Do you think in a lot of ways, I mean, although that's a long time to wait to get your deal and to get to where you want to get and to be able to produce and write the music that you want to write, do you think it frustrated you a lot? Like, let's say as of 5 or 6 years ago, were you kind of like scratching your head going, well, geez, is this what we should be doing?
Well, sometimes it got frustrating, I think, but something inside just kept driving us to keep doing this. Because this is what we do. This is what we've always wanted to do. So no matter how bad things got, we just kept each other going all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that original idea or that original vision we had together, was a pretty solid foundation, and we've been building upon that, and I think that's helped us stay together.
I think it's kind of nice too, the fact that you mentioned that you're like brothers and best friends, because it seems to be a lot of the bands that sometimes I interview on this very program. I mean, you can tell these guys genuinely hate each other's guts. These are some big bands. They just don't get along. They just they make their money and they make some great rock and roll. Don't get me wrong. I think it's kind of nice to see a band that's like, hey, we're buds, and if this continues on for 10 years from now, that's great. If it ends tomorrow, then we gave it our best shot.
Yeah.
That's pretty hip. Earl here, why don't you say hi, Earl?
Hi.
Earl's the producer of this program besides Mark doing this. Earl has been talking about the song Moan Jam for a number of weeks. 3 weeks. He's showing me the 3-week sign here.
Thanks.
You want to comment on this? You want to comment on this tune, Jerry? Moan Jam?
Well, this is one of those tunes that has been around for years and years. We were doing this even before record deals and all that. And just kind of evolved. Well, it hasn't really evolved much. It's been pretty much the same song. And we've actually recorded it for each record.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally made it on this one.
How many songs did you guys have before when you went to the studio? Did you just say, okay, these are our songs that we're going to record, or did you have like 25 and then just pare it down from there?
It's between 20, 25, 30 sometimes of all 3 albums, and then we sort out what we want to do.
And then Moan Jam, unfortunately, before just never really got on, and now it's finally on.
People wonder why it's called Moan Jam.
Yeah, let's get the story behind it.
Okay. I know a lot of people are thinking all of these thoughts, but actually all it is when we started to write the song, it was a jam, and there was no words. And I remember growing up in my great grandmother was very religious, and she took me to church a lot. And a lot of times when the people would get up and sing, and they got to the point where there was nothing else they could say, but their emotions were still flying, they would just say, it's no harm to moan. And they'd just go, like that, you know. So what we were doing the song, and I thought, well, I can't think of the words because I'm going to moan the song. So I just hummed just this melody, you know, and then we started calling it the Moan Jam.
Oh, that's great.
And then later on, we just put words to it. I really don't know why we did it, but we got some words to it, and we kept the name Moan Jam.
You gotta love it. All right, you got the Moan Jam. King's X. This is 102.7 WNEW FM in the shop.